Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to IQI Canada's Evening Talk, and it's back with me and Ardavan, Dante, and Ardavan right here. Forgot my own name. How's everyone doing? So today we're going to be talking about the Agent Solution Package by Juwai IQI. How you doing, Ardavan?
I'm doing very well, Dante. How are you, my friend?
Very, very good, my friend. How's everything in the Canada side?
It's warming up, thankfully, because I think many of us were sick of the cold. This has
Yeah.
been overall a very mild winter in comparison to what we've had. We really haven't had that much snow, if you look at it on a broader spectrum. But it's still cold. There's still a bit of a wind chill, and thankfully now I don't have to walk out with a real snow jacket. I can walk out in
Yeah,
this.
okay, that's good.
Yeah, so things are looking up.
Oh, I mean, I do miss snow and I do miss winter, so like, over here on our side, it's, always pretty tropical. So, you know, so that being said, like, let's talk about a little bit about Juwai, and,
Sure.
we're going to jump into like, talking about the initial part, which is the inception of Juwai and the
Mhm.
meaning of, Juwai, and also when Juwai and IQI came together to merge and create Juwai IQI. So let's talk about that. Tell us a little bit more about
All
this
right.
awesome stuff.
Cool. So a little bit of Juwai History 101. Juwai actually is a Chinese word which means home abroad or home away from home or home outside. And that really is a reflection on what the company is and what it stands for. We aim to basically bridge the gap between investors who are looking to invest in properties or purchase properties outside of their home province or outside of their country and either just invest or even purchase homes to start a new life abroad. So that's where Juwai came in. Now, Juwai and IQI both started in 2010. And Juwai started off as a marketing tool and an online listing portal and basically a marketing research and a technological company. And IQY started as a stream of real estate companies across Southeast Asia. We are dispersed in other parts of the world, but mainly focused in China and South Asia and the general area. And then in 2019, we merged and we became one of the fastest growing prop tech companies out there. And so, yeah.
That's awesome. And we really are one of the like, top, prop tech companies out there with all the like, really awesome technology that we have in terms of property technology and also all the listing tech and demographics, information and data that we have. Because let's face it, data is king
Oh, yeah.
these days. We got to talk about that. And we do have a lot of that. So
Oh,
that being
absolutely.
said, when we talk about numbers, what brought up this like tsunami of Chinese outbound investments and ASEAN outbound investments towards Canada?
Right. So the Belt and Road Initiative really started in China in I want to say 2011 ish, and it started as a mass outreach by the Chinese government in order to enhance global investment from the Chinese perspective. So basically, to allow their citizens to invest as much as they could all across the world. And the target completion date for the project actually coincides with the 100th anniversary of the People's Republic of China,
Nice.
which is an ambitious date to set for themselves. I think it's 2049. But yeah, we noticed that there was a pretty decent pot of money in the beginning, and in 2010 it was about $5 billion USD coming out from China and the Greater ASEAN. And then you go to 2011, and that 5 billion suddenly spikes to about 12 billion. You know,
Yeah, and that's a big change,
yeah,
just in that quarter.
it's not a steady climb; it's this huge jump across the board. And then you fast forward to 2018, that 12 billion is now close to 130 billion USD worth of inquiry.
It's
We're sitting
you
here.
really stand somewhere and you're just like looking at this going up and you're basically like, how is it going up so fast? You know?
And exactly, and more importantly than how, we're like, how do we get in on this?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So that's essentially what um, what Juwai started out to do. And now we have, an inbound clientele of about 5.5 million active users to our website every single month. We list in
Incredible.
we list in about 196 countries across the world. And on an average yearly basis, you can expect our listings to have about a 4 trillion USD value.
Yeah.
That is a
It's
huge
incredible.
sum.
Yeah. It's like, and the thing is, like, people don't realize sometimes, like, this 5.5 million are not viewers. These are
No,
people,
no, 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 no.
they're
Active users.
signed up,
Absolutely, yes.
it's huge. And this is the beautiful part about it, because all these interested parties and all these signups allow us to understand better about, like, how the demographic in China works, how they, or any part of ASEAN that has investors that want to purchase homes, or migrate to another country. And that brings me to ask, what stems or what basically creates this outbound investment? What's the source of it? Why do people suddenly want to get out?
You'd be surprised. It's really just for personal use. That's the common denominator that we see recurring
Wow.
most frequently. And you have your other investment reasons and stocks and bonds and financial incentives, but normally it's just we see this property, we like it, we want it, we buy it. It's
Yeah,
really that simple. And currently, Canada ranks at about number 4, where
that's
the
pretty
investment of
good.
interest. It is, where the investment of interest from China and the greater ASEAN lies. Um, and in about 2018, we noticed that the total inquiry value to Canada was about 1.31 billion USD.
Wow.
And if you split it up, it you notice it was about 750 million to the province of Ontario. And then if you split it up even more, about 580 million was directed just towards the city of Toronto. So
Wow. Oh
the
my
beautiful
God.
thing about this platform is that it gives you access to all the information that you want, not just where this money is coming from, but more importantly, where it's going. Where are these investors so keen to put their time, their money, and their energy?
This is incredible, honestly. Like, looking at this and how we really got this rope all over that, like, inbound investment. And we're like, yeah,
Exactly.
take us around. All right. That's awesome. And that brings me to ask, as agents, like, if I'm sitting down and, like, anyone watching us right now, and I'm thinking about, getting into one of these packages, why should I get into one, and get any of these packages actually?
Well, I guess the first way to answer that would be to emphasize that because of China's internet firewall, there exists this block of this barrier to communication, essentially, where Chinese investors are actually unable to see these international properties unless they go through a trusted online international listing portal. That is where Juwai comes in. And
Ta-da.
exactly. And we have one of the best market outreach programs. We've been covered by God alone knows how many news outlets, how many media
Yeah.
outlets, both in print and on online and on TV.
And both
And
in and out of the firewall.
exactly. And China has their own version of everything. Instead of Google, they use Baidu, for example. And on Baidu, our ranking is the only international listing portal out there which has a consistent 5-star ranking across the board. Every other one that you see is 4 and below. And if you look at the pages index whenever someone Googles or Baidu's something related to Juwai, Juwai alone, just one site, gives you about 37 million pages indexed. Everyone else combined gives you about 2.7 or 2.9 million. But whatever that figure is, you see the huge gap between these numbers indexed, right? So, no, I don't mean to brag, but hashtag we're the best.
Yeah, we are. I mean, it's not even humble bragging, because it's hard to humble brag, because we really are. It's not something that we're gonna put, like, in a corner. It's not something to be modest about. When you are really good at something, it's nice to express that and let people know, so that they can chime in and join in with you, so that you can be great together.
Absolutely.
And that being said, I wanted to ask, what type of packages do we have to offer? Because like a lot of the times, sometimes people see the package prices and then they're like, okay, this is too much for me, or maybe like
Mhm.
this is too low. So like, let's talk about like the prices, and then once we have that in the store, let's talk about the common factors, because like a lot of people like even when we want to buy a phone, we always
Oh,
look
right.
at the
Oh, yeah.
common factors and see like which one is the same, so which one can I go and play around with the price and stuff like that. So
Absolutely.
let's talk about that.
Sure. Well, these packages, we have a couple in place that you'd be able to see on Juwai's website, and they go by the names essentially Asia Pro 100 and 150 and 300 and so on and so forth. And these numbers basically indicate how many properties you're allowed to have actively listed through your account for one calendar year. Now, the Asia Pro 100, for example, would allow you to list 100 properties at a certain price and certain, common factors such as your market outreach, your company profile, your agent profile page. But over the span of time, we realized, how many agents on an individual level have 100 listings to their name in any one given year. So we realized that these packages, they're well designed and they are affordable and they do give you your bang for your buck,
Yeah.
but we needed to come up with something that was more suitable on an individual basis for agents, right? So we
Or
came
a
up,
tester,
or tester, essentially. So we came up with the Asia Pro 10. And what that allows you for the for a nominal sum of about 550 USD, it allows you to list up to 10 active listings every single year, which, if you think about it, is a lot more realistic than asking someone to list 100. Even though you could split it across a group of agents or an agency in its entirety, but if you want to work alone or if you prefer to work alone, that's fine. The Asia Pro 10 is what we would highly recommend for you.
Yep. And the wonderful part is they can upgrade anytime, right? They
Oh
can
yeah.
just like, that's perfect. So you're just getting a tester, put your toe in the water, see how it's going, and then we're that confident. We're gonna tell you we're that confident because we know the minute you dip the toe in there and you find out all that investment like coming in, then you're basically gonna go and like check out for more listings and more things to offer, because and it's going to be like that, because once you enter and you get all those investments coming in from China, you basically have to look for more listings, because you're going to have all your hands full with all the
Oh
clients
yeah.
coming in. So so get like whichever package you want, but no, you're probably going to upgrade. you know that being said, so what are the standard points of view? Is there anything like standard between like all of
Oh
these
yeah.
packages?
Absolutely. So no matter what package you sign up for, you're going to have, as you said, a list of common factors between them. So some of them include 2 floor plans per package, or per listing, I should say, 20 pictures per listing, 150 English words per listing. And I do want to say about 150 English words and the company profile page and the agent profile page, these are all going to be translated in a way that is not only understandable, but appealing to your foreign audience. And
Wonderful.
the good thing about this is that it's not done through Google Translate. It is done through human live copywriters and editors who work around the clock to make sure that whatever text you upload is then relayed to the buyer in a way that not only do they understand, but is also marketable to that certain culture.
Exactly, and we all know Google Translate might work with some languages, but not with Chinese, not with most of East,
I mean,
Southeast Asian
exactly,
countries.
exactly. I mean,
It's just like when you
it's
put it
decent,
into
but
Google.
like it
No,
is decent, but
the service
you
is
know,
decent, yeah, but like for the language itself, especially like simplified or like new Mandarin or whichever it is, like when you put into Google, but what you get is completely different from what the person or the passage is actually telling you. So having a Chinese copywriter is not only important, but also that perspective of how marketing in China works is easier for them to understand and to also create content for that than for someone outside of China that doesn't really know the culture that well. So that alone
absolutely.
is a huge factor for us to like consider, which brings me to the next question. How do they contact these leads? We have
Right.
hot leads for them. How? But the thing is, like, everyone wonders, like, how can I communicate with the person that is on the other side? So
Absolutely.
tell us about that.
So one of the other jobs of these very human translators and copywriters is to act as a middleman for not just the information on the property, but also live communication between you and your client. So if your client says, for example, I'm interested, I'd like to have a closer look at this floor plan, for example, that client will send this message to that translator in their native language, and then that translator will translate it to you and send you a message. And this is all done through WeChat, which is essentially China's version of WhatsApp.
All wonderful. That's awesome. And also, hello there, Paul from Philippines. Hope you're doing well. So that being said, Ardavan, if they want to contact us, if they want to get to know more about the Juwai packages, if they want to join into IQI Canada, or they just want to know more about Juwai IQI in general, how do they contact you?
Oh, it's very simple. Just give us a call. We're always happy to answer. The number is 905-564-0188. You should be able to see it in the banner below. An alternative number is 647-669-9222, or you could just send us an email either at info@iqicanada.com, or if you want to know about Juwai specifically, my name, Ardavan, at juwaiiqi.com. I'm more than happy and available to answer any and all questions you may have.
You heard him. He's available. Alright. So that being said, Ardavan, I also wanted to, because we do have a very important New Year coming on for some of our friends in Canada as well. And of course, I'd like to wish all of our, Persian or, Central Asian or anybody that is celebrating Nowruz, the New Year, the Persian New Year, a very, very happy upcoming Nowruz. امیدوارم که خیلی عید خوبی داشته باشین. And again, our dear friends, our Persian friends out there, and anybody who does celebrate Nowruz, if you guys are also agents, اگه دوست دارین که join بشین، حتما به ما خبر بدین. میتونین ایمیلی که این پایین هستش با اردوان تماس بگیرین یا با خودم, and we're going to be able to help you guys anytime soon. That being said, I hope that you all have an awesome, day ahead, and thank you so much, Ardavan, for joining us and letting us know more about Juwai, IQI's agent solution packages. Sending you all a lot of love. Always a pleasure with you as well, my friend. Sending you all a lot of love, and also to you, Ardavan.
Thank you very much. Same to you, Azizam.
For sure. Thank you, Azizam, and have an awesome, awesome evening, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.
Bye.